If you're thinking, this is the type of story that should be turned into an opera, well then I'm way ahead of you. I'm catching up with Anthony, who wrote and performed an opera about William Buckley.
What brought you to writing an opera about William Buckley?
Right here. I'd come back from Europe where I'd had my singing career, settled here in Rye, not far away, and came down to visit the settlement, was fascinated by the history.
Amazing. How long did it take you to develop it and get it to performance stage?
Took us about 5 years.
Yeah.
Just let it happen, let it develop. And then I had to find a really good director. That was David Lampard was his name. He'd done some work at the Adelaide Festival and elsewhere. Very good man. And he put together a really wonderful visual production of the opera there. And it was a very big job, not just composing the thing, but actually bringing it together and making it work.
Amazing. And the opera itself, how much of Buckley's life did that sort of encapsulate?
Well, I was very lucky to have Richard Cotter, who's been involved here with the Friends and has written all these marvellous books about the area. He used many of the texts, letters and diaries and so on from the period and included them in the libretto. So the libretto is very historical. And he put together a libretto for me in about 6 months. And once I had that, I could start composing.
Down your throats, it might to us all some gold bread, and bring back memories of plenty, and bring back memories of from.
Start with the settlement here, talk about how it all happened, how they arrived here in 1803, how they settled in, a bit of humour and a few of the reactions to seeing snakes here for the first time, all that kind of stuff. And then once that part of the opera was past, we had a couple of scenes about rum-fueled parties, and then we moved into a scene where Buckley decides to escape. And the rest of the opera is all about Buckley.
Right. Did you ever consider touring it around?
Look, I didn't want to be responsible for the hard work at my age of mounting it again. But it's there if anyone else ever wants to do it. The music's there. It's just a matter of somebody showing an interest and running with it.
The booze right down your throats. It might to us all some gold bread, and bring back memories.
You know, I'm no opera singer, but I do sing to myself in the car on occasions.
Under the shower.
Maybe could you give me a little quick lesson?
So the trick with opera singing, we don't use microphones, is to find the resonances. If you go for an M hum, you can wake up these resonances. Then you go for an N hum, and the vibrations really start occurring up here, right? Then you go for an NG hum, and you bring the back of the head into the resonances, and then you're able to produce a voice which will fill any theatre.
That made me feel something. And that was you just making a sound.
That was just me making more of a noise, really, than the sound. All I've done so far is hums to find the resonance. Then we work on the various vowels, E, A, R, O, U. And once you've got a feeling for the resonance on all those vowels, then you're away. So we've done the M, the N, and the NG. And then if you go to an E, concentrate on these frontal resonances. E, very smooth. Impressive. Yeah, you picked it up very quickly.
Oh, stop it, Anthony. I can sing. Wow. That was awesome. I know it might be cheeky to ask, but would you be up for giving us a little bit?
I've got a very scratchy voice. I won't be able to give it an impression, but I was an operatic baritone, and so I composed the role of Buckley for a baritone.
Oh, great.
So, for example, when they've arrived here, they're all tied up, and Collins comes in, and Buckley is infuriated that he should be brought to Australia in the first place. So he goes something like, I do not deserve to be here. I was arrested for stealing 2 pieces of Irish cloth worth but 8 shillings and was sent off to New South Wales.
I feel like I was just transported into the theatre.
He was transported.
He was transported as well. That's right. And that was great.
Later on, he talks a little bit about his past life. I'm a Cheshire man born of farming.
Sitting here listening to Anthony's beautiful voice, I can't help but think about how much I've already learnt, but also how much more of my journey is yet to come. I wonder what will happen next on the Beer Pioneer. Probably worth tuning in for, whatever it is, I'd say.
He is the Beer Pioneer.